So I guess we're just going to war with Yemen now? And no, this video is not about how, this guy accidentally texted a journalist his war plans, and what he meant to send was likely a picture of his dick. Instead, what I want to talk about is who fights our wars. And I'll give you a hint. It's not this walking violation of the flag code, nor is it the boy with the golden bone spurs, or this guy who refuses to get up off of this couch for obvious reasons. Instead, as always, it is young people. Often those who are less privileged, and most important of all, somebody's children. But when people like this think of war, they don't think about how they are endangering us and our children. They think only of how they can benefit, even if it costs us our lives, or our children's lives. It was for this reason that I wrote my short story, Amber's Son, to show who is really out there fighting these wars, and what is really at stake when we start dropping bombs. Here's a sneak peek of the story. Amber's son was in the middle of a desert in a country he could not locate on a map, nor could he pronounce the name of the country, the people, or the language those people spoke. He hadn't a clue what the war was about or how it started. All he knew was that he was there, in that desert, to protect his countrymen back home. Though what he was protecting them from, he did not know. "Load your guns," said Heather's son to the other boys and girls before they departed camp for their mission through the desert. "Keep your eyes up at all times," he said. "The enemy wants nothing more than to kill you. Don't you ever forget that. The only way to survive is to kill them first." These were the words that echoed through the mind of Amber's son as he crawled through the sand, slithered up and down the dunes, and followed his leader into battle. It was roughly 4 in the morning when Amber's son was finally able to stand. They had reached the camp of the enemy and were ready to attack. They loaded their guns and reviewed once more the plan sent to them from Washington, D.C., the city from which grown men and women ordered children to fight battles on their behalf in a land a million billion miles away. They stood in a straight line, looking in at a village still asleep. There were no wrinkles on any of their faces caused yet by the distresses of life. Their uniforms were all loose on their twig-like bodies. Their shoes were all a size or two too big. Their guns were nearly the height of them, and the weight of those guns caused them all to lean back just a bit to keep from falling forward. They were just kids, young and innocent. They were just kids when their captain, Heather's son, yelled attack. They were just kids when they invaded a village filled with other kids just like them. Only the uniforms they wore had different flags stitched into their shoulders, making them their government's enemy, and therefore eternally their enemy. This is not just a threat to Yemen. This is a threat to you and me and all of our children.